Before you spend that dime, take a closer look. Some 1983, 1990, 2007, and even 2014 Roosevelt dimes are worth way more than 10 cents. From rare mint errors to collectible varieties, these coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands. In this video, I'll show you exactly what to check so you don't miss a hidden treasure in your pocket change. In 1983, millions of US dimes rolled out of the mint, small silver-colored coins that most people never gave a second thought to. They were tossed into vending machines, used for phone calls, and jingled in countless pockets and purses. But hidden among these ordinary coins is a fascinating mystery. A small handful of pieces that weren't struck quite the way they were supposed to be. These errors, which most people overlooked at the time, have today become some of the most sought-after treasures in American numismatics. What's even more unbelievable is that a single 1983 dime with one of these errors can now fetch prices anywhere between $48,000 and $128,000 at auction, transforming what was once 10 cents into a life-changing sum of money. The Roosevelt dime has been in circulation since 1946, designed to honor Franklin Delano Roosevelt after his passing. The obverse carries his left-facing profile, while the reverse showcases a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, representing liberty, peace, and strength. By the 1980s, this design had become deeply familiar to Americans. The coin was struck by the millions every year, mostly at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. With such high-volume production, errors occasionally slipped through the cracks, creating coins that now stand apart from the rest. The 1983 dime is special because several distinct error types surfaced from that year. One of the most notable is the double die error, in which certain features of the coin appear duplicated due to a misalignment during the die-making process. On some of these 1983 dimes, you might see doubling in the inscriptions such as Liberty, In God We Trust, or even the date itself. This doubling is immediately eye-catching and can easily set an error dime apart from the ordinary. Collectors are particularly fond of these because the error is visible without magnification, making it an obvious showpiece in any collection. Another type of error seen in 1983 involves off-center strikes. In this case, the coin blank wasn't properly aligned with the dies when it was struck, leaving part of the design missing and a blank crescent of bare metal on the surface. The degree of off-center striking can drastically impact a coin's value. Small misalignments might bring in a modest premium, but dramatic errors where 40%, 50%, or even more of the design is missing are especially valuable. In such examples, the dime may look as if it has a chunk of its face missing, making it instantly recognizable as a rarity. Clipped planchets are another fascinating error that occurred in 1983. These happen during the cutting of the metal blanks, when the punch overlaps with an area that has already been cut. The result is a coin with a curved portion missing, almost as if someone took a small bite out of it. While minor clips are interesting, larger ones are far rarer and more desirable. There are also transitional errors, some of the most intriguing and valuable mistakes in the world of coin collecting. Though more commonly associated with years when metal compositions changed, transitional errors occasionally appear in other years when planchets intended for different coins or compositions are mistakenly struck with the dime design. These coins, when authenticated, are considered major rarities and can command the highest values within the error coin community. The story of how these coins left the mint adds even more intrigue. The U.S. Mint has strict quality control measures, but given the sheer volume of coins produced, mistakes were bound to occur. The errors that slipped past inspections in 1983 entered circulation quietly, mingling with ordinary dimes. For decades, many of them likely went unnoticed, passed hand to hand in small transactions, lying forgotten in jars of change, or sitting at the bottom of drawers. It is only when sharp-eyed collectors or casual finders recognize something unusual that these treasures began to be appreciated for what they truly are. The values attached to these coins today reflect both their rarity and the passion of collectors. Imagine the thrill of finding a coin you once thought was worth 10 cents suddenly appraised at tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, auction records reveal that certain 1983 error dimes have sold for staggering amounts, depending on the type of error and the coin's condition. A pristine, mint-state example of a dramatic off-center strike or a bold double die can easily bring in figures between $48,000 and $128,000. Even circulated examples, if the error is dramatic enough, are capable of selling for sums that would shock someone unfamiliar with the world of coin collecting. This price range is where the magic lies. A single dime, something that could have bought a gumball or a quick phone call back in the 1980s, can now equal the cost of a luxury car, a down payment on a house, or even a full college education. That's the kind of transformation that captures people's imaginations and keeps them searching through their pocket change in hopes of discovering such a treasure. Collectors prize these coins not only for their value but also for the stories they tell. Each error is a piece of history, a small window into the mechanical processes of the mint and the inevitability of human or machine error. Unlike a perfect coin, which is identical to millions of others, an error coin is unique. No two errors are exactly alike, making each one a singular piece of numismatic art. This uniqueness drives demand and pushes prices higher, especially when two collectors are eager to own the same scarce piece. The fascination with the 1983 error dime also serves as a reminder that rare coins are still out there waiting to be discovered. Every year, stories emerge of people who find valuable coins in pocket change, rolls from banks, or even old family coin jars. Sometimes it's seasoned collectors who spot them. Other times, it's complete novices who stumble upon them by accident. These finds often make headlines, sparking new waves of excitement and sending more people digging through their own coins in search of a hidden fortune. For anyone interested in the hunt, the key is knowledge and patience. Learning what to look for, from doubling in the inscriptions to unusual shapes caused by off-center strikes or clipped planchets, can make all the difference. The 1983 error dime is proof that even a coin as small and unassuming as a dime can carry immense value if it possesses the right flaw. And so, the story of the 1983 US dime error is both extraordinary and inspiring. It teaches us that treasures often hide in plain sight, waiting for the right person to notice them. From a modest 10-cent coin to a highly coveted rarity worth between $48,000 and $128,000, it's a journey that captures the imagination and underscores the enduring appeal of numismatics. The next time you find a dime in your change, take a closer look. You never know when you might be holding something far more valuable than it seems. The 1990 United States dime may seem like an ordinary coin, something you've handled thousands of times in your daily life without giving it much thought. But for collectors and coin enthusiasts, it carries stories of minting errors, rare varieties, and jaw-dropping auction values. While most people see just a small 10-cent piece, some versions of the 1990 US dime with rare minting mistakes have turned into treasures that can sell for staggering amounts. When we talk about error coins, the excitement lies in the fact that they are not just monetary artifacts, but also symbols of history, human imperfection, and incredible luck for those who stumble upon them. A single 1990 dime with the right kind of error can go from being worth 10 cents to fetching anywhere from $42,000 to $115,000 in the hands of an eager collector. That kind of leap in value is what makes the world of coin errors so fascinating. To understand why the 1990 dime is so special, let's first consider the broader context of U.S. coinage. Dimes have been part of American currency since the late 18th century, and each new design or modification brings with it not only historical importance but also the potential for mistakes during the minting process. In 1990, dimes were part of the Roosevelt series, a design first introduced in 1946 as a tribute to President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his death. By this point, the design had been in place for over 4 decades, and millions of these coins were being produced each year at U.S. mints in Philadelphia and Denver. With such massive production, errors, though statistically rare, inevitably occurred. When we talk about minting errors, they can come in many forms. Double strikes, off-center strikes, missing letters, filled dies, and misaligned designs are just some of the variations that intrigue collectors. With the 1990 Roosevelt dime, certain striking mistakes resulted in highly collectible error coins. Some feature doubled elements where parts of the design appear to overlap or blur. Others were struck off-center, creating a crescent shape of missing detail, and in the most prized cases, the mint mark itself may have been misplaced or omitted. These are the types of details that make ordinary-looking dimes suddenly worth a small fortune. Let's paint a clearer picture of why such an error is so significant. Minting is an incredibly precise process. Steel dies are engraved with the design, blanks are fed into machines, and coins are struck with thousands of pounds of pressure. With millions being struck, maintaining precision is essential. Yet even with modern technology, mistakes happen. A die may shift slightly, causing an image to double. A blank might not be perfectly centered, resulting in a dramatic off-center strike. A clogged die could lead to missing or faint letters. Each of these errors makes a coin unique, and uniqueness drives collector demand. The 1990 dime has become one of those coins where an error can elevate its worth far beyond face value. Collectors are drawn to these because they represent both a curiosity of the minting process and a rare prize that not many can claim to own. For example, a dime with a striking misalignment or a double die error from 1990 can be so rare that only a handful exist in collectible condition. In auction houses, these rarities can bring in astonishing bids, with prices soaring from $42,000 to as high as $115,000 depending on the coin's condition and the severity of the error. What makes this even more thrilling is the possibility that such a coin could be hiding in plain sight. Millions of 1990 dimes are still in circulation today, tucked away in piggy banks, coin jars, or old rolls that haven't been searched in decades. Someone sorting through their loose change could, without realizing it, stumble upon one of these error coins worth tens of thousands of dollars. That chance discovery element is what gives coin collecting its adventure-like appeal. Collectors know that condition is everything when it comes to value. A coin graded in high mint state condition by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can dramatically increase its price. Combine pristine condition with a dramatic mint error, and the value skyrockets. So a 1990 dime with a striking error in near-perfect condition could easily command prices on the higher end of the scale, pushing closer to that $115,000 figured. There's also the factor of historical timing. By 1990, U.S. coins were being produced with modern minting technology, making errors less common than in earlier decades. That rarity makes any mistake from this year even more valuable. Collectors are keenly aware of how few slip through the cracks, which drives competition and higher auction prices. Beyond the value, these coins are cherished as fascinating pieces of American history. They tell stories of how even the most advanced systems can produce flaws, and how those flaws can turn something common into something extraordinary. They also highlight the dedication of the collector community, people who spend hours searching rolls of coins, studying small details under magnifying glasses, and chasing that one coin that could change everything. It's not just about money, though the potential to turn a 10-cent coin into a life-changing discovery is undeniably exciting. It's about the thrill of the hunt and the pride of owning a piece of numismatic history. The 1990 Roosevelt dime error coin is one of those treasures that represents both luck and knowledge. It rewards those who pay attention to detail and who understand that value often lies in the unexpected. When you think about it, the allure of a $42,000 to $115,000 coin that started out as a simple dime is truly powerful. It shows us that sometimes the smallest items can hold the greatest surprises, and that fortune can be found where we least expect it. For collectors, it's a reminder to never underestimate a coin, no matter how ordinary it may appear at first glance. So the next time you hold a dime from 1990, take a closer look, study its details, its strike, and its overall design. Because hidden among the millions of ordinary dimes could be that one spectacular error coin capable of rewriting your financial story. And if you're one of the lucky ones to uncover such a treasure, you'll understand firsthand why the world of rare coins continues to captivate and inspire people across generations. The 2007 US one-dime coin is one such coin that has captured the attention of collectors and enthusiasts alike. While millions of dimes were struck and circulated that year, certain error coins slipped through the cracks, transforming these small pieces of metal into treasures of immense value. These errors are not just minting mistakes. They represent opportunities for collectors to own something rare and historically significant. And here's the most astonishing part. Some of these 2007 dime error coins have been valued between $36,000 and $112,000 depending on the type of error, condition, and rarity. That's right, a coin that was worth just 10 cents in your pocket could be worth as much as a brand new luxury car. Understand why? We first need to step back and look at the story of the dime itself. The dime has long been one of the most widely used coins in American commerce, with a history stretching back over 200 years. By 2007, the familiar Roosevelt dime had been in circulation for decades, featuring President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse and the torch, olive branch and oak branch design on the reverse. This design represents liberty, peace, and strength, symbols deeply ingrained in American culture. Most people wouldn't even glance twice at a dime as they handed it over at a store counter or dropped it into a vending machine, but for those who understand numismatics, every coin is worth a second look, especially those struck in years when unusual errors surfaced. Errors happen for several reasons. A misaligned die, a double strike, an off-center strike, a clipped planchet, or even a wrong planchet can cause a coin to deviate from the standard design. While these mistakes might seem minor to the average person, in the world of collectors, they are like hidden treasures. They can take a common coin and elevate it into a category of rarity that drives prices sky-high at auctions. In 2007, multiple dimes left the mint with striking errors that were later discovered in circulation, and those lucky enough to recognize them had the chance to hold something extraordinary. What makes these coins even more exciting is the story they tell about how something went wrong in a system designed for precision. Modern minting technology is incredibly advanced, with machines designed to strike coins quickly and flawlessly. Yet, despite all that sophistication, the human element and the complexity of the minting process mean that mistakes can and do happen. These mistakes, rather than devaluing the coin, end up making it much more desirable. It's this irony that collectors love, the imperfection that leads to perfection in value. The 2007 dime errors range from coins struck slightly off-center to those with doubling visible in the lettering or numbers, and even dimes struck on the wrong metal planchets. Each of these varieties carries its own level of intrigue. A slightly off-center dime might fetch thousands, while a more dramatic error, like one struck on a planchet meant for another denomination, can easily push the value into that incredible range of $36,000 to $112,000. The more dramatic the mistake, the higher the collector demand, and the more intense the bidding becomes when these coins appear at auctions. Collectors often talk about the thrill of the hunt, and this coin embodies that perfectly. Many people who discovered these errors did so in pocket change or coin rolls from the bank. Think about that, going through a roll of dimes worth just a few dollars and pulling out a coin that could cover the cost of a car, a semester of college, or even a down payment on a house. It's this possibility that keeps so many enthusiasts checking their change carefully and staying alert for anomalies. The 2007 dime error serves as a reminder that treasure doesn't always come from gold mines or rare artifacts dug from the ground. Sometimes it jingles quietly in your pocket until someone takes the time to notice it. Another factor that plays into the incredible value of these coins is their condition. Like with most collectibles, condition is king. A 2007 error dime that has circulated heavily, showing scratches and wear, will still have value, but one that remains in near-perfect condition, graded by professionals as mint state or proof, will command much higher prices. That's why some of these coins have crossed into six-figure territory. When an error coin is both dramatic and pristine, it becomes a centerpiece for any serious collection. Auction houses and private collectors have repeatedly shown just how much demand there is for these pieces. There are stories of collectors bidding furiously to outdo one another, determined not to let such a rare piece slip away. And it's not just about the financial value. Owning a coin like this is owning a piece of history, a physical reminder of the quirks and unpredictability of the minting process. It's a conversation starter, a status symbol in numismatic circles, and a thrilling discovery for anyone lucky enough to find one. The story of the 2007 dime error coin also highlights an important lesson for both collectors and casual coin enthusiasts. Always pay attention to the small details. The date, the mint mark, the clarity of the strike, and any irregularities in the design can all be clues to whether a coin is special. Most people overlook coins entirely, but those who train their eyes to look closely often find themselves rewarded. And with values ranging between $36,000 and $112,000 for some of these 2007 errors, the rewards can be life-changing. This brings us to the broader point about coin collecting as a whole. Coins are not just pieces of metal. They are storytellers. They tell stories about the time in which they were made, the people who designed them, the leaders they honor, and even the mistakes that slipped past the watchful eyes of the mint. Each error coin is like a fingerprint, completely unique, never to be repeated in exactly the same way. That uniqueness is what drives collectors to pursue them with such passion and intensity. The 2007 US dime error stands as a perfect example of how something as ordinary as pocket change can turn extraordinary with just the right combination of rarity, condition, and historical intrigue. It reminds us that value is often hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone with curiosity and knowledge to uncover it. For those who have one of these coins in their possession, the choice is between keeping it as a prized piece of their collection or offering it to the highest bidder in a marketplace that is always eager for such rarities. So, the next time you come across a dime from 2007, take a closer look. Check for any irregularities, no matter how small. That tiny piece of metal could be worth far more than its face value. It could be one of the rare error coins that collectors are willing to pay $36,000 to $112,000 for. And if you do find one, you'll have a story to tell for the rest of your life. The story of how a coin worth 10 cents became a treasure worth thousands. The year 2014 saw the continued production of one of America's most recognized and widely circulated coins, the Roosevelt dime. Introduced in 1946 to honor the life and legacy of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, this coin has been in the pockets of Americans for generations. Its design has remained largely unchanged for decades, with Roosevelt's left-facing profile on the obverse and a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch on the reverse, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. Billions of these coins are produced, and most people never give them a second thought. But every once in a while, a small error during the minting process transforms an ordinary 10-cent coin into something that makes collectors' hearts race. That's exactly what happened with the 2014 Roosevelt dime error coins, some of which have sold for staggering amounts, reaching between $27,000 and $95,000. At first glance, a 2014 dime looks like every other. It is small, silver in color, and designed for everyday transactions that most people don't even pause to notice. But for collectors and those who pay close attention, these coins carry far more potential than their face value suggests. The minting process is supposed to be precise, but when billions of coins are made each year, mistakes are inevitable. Most of these mistakes are caught and destroyed before the coins enter circulation, but a few escape. These escapes are what turn common dimes into rare treasures. The types of errors that have been documented on 2014 Roosevelt dimes include dramatic double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die clashes, and in very rare cases, double-struck coins. Each of these errors creates a unique appearance that is instantly recognizable when compared to a normal dime, and the more dramatic the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. For example, a double die error might show extra impressions of the date, the word liberty, or Roosevelt's profile. To a collector, these doubled features are not imperfections. They are fascinating glimpses into how the dies used to strike the coins were improperly prepared, creating a collectible anomaly. Off-center strikes are another category of 2014 dime errors that have stunned collectors. This error happens when the coin blank is not seated correctly in the press, causing the design to be shifted away from its intended placement. Sometimes only a small part of the design is affected, but in the most dramatic cases, half the design is missing. These extreme off-center strikes are rare, and when found on a coin as modern as the 2014 dime, their rarity is even greater. Collectors who want these unusual pieces often pay thousands for them, and pristine examples have reached into that astonishing $27,000 to $95,000 price range, depending on condition and eye appeal. Another striking error seen in 2014 dimes is the broad strike error. Normally, coins are struck within a retaining collar that ensures the metal spreads correctly into the rim of the coin. But if the collar fails, the coin spreads outward, creating a wider and flatter shape. These errors are easy to spot, and they give the dime a unique appearance that collectors covet. A flawless broad strike dime from 2014, in high mint state condition, can command prices far beyond what most people imagine a modern dime could be worth. Double strikes are even more fascinating. This happens when the coin is struck once but fails to eject from the press, resulting in another strike overlapping the first. The result can be a jumble of overlapping designs that are both rare and dramatic. These double-struck 2014 dimes are among the most valuable errors of the year, as they represent a complete malfunction of the minting process. They are visually stunning and instantly recognizable, making them highly desirable at auction. What makes the 2014 dime error coins so compelling is that they are modern. Collectors expect six-figure price tags for rare gold or silver coins from centuries ago, but the idea that a dime minted just over a decade ago could be worth nearly $95,000 is shocking to most people. It challenges the idea that only old coins can be valuable. In fact, mint errors prove that age is not the only factor. Rarity and demand matter just as much. One of the most fascinating aspects of these 2014 dime errors is how they are discovered. Many times, someone sorting through change will notice something unusual. The coin may look off, the rim might be misshaped, or the lettering may appear doubled. At first, it may not even seem like anything special. But upon closer inspection, the truth reveals itself. What should have been worth 10 cents could actually be a life-changing discovery. Stories circulate of collectors and even casual hobbyists finding these dimes in coin rolls from banks, in change from grocery stores, or in forgotten jars of coins. That thrill of discovery is part of what drives the popularity of coin collecting, and it's what keeps people searching through their change, hoping to stumble upon the next big find. Auction houses and private sales have confirmed the enormous demand for these error coins. When a 2014 dime with a significant error appears on the market, collectors from around the country, and sometimes even internationally, compete to own it. Because so few of these coins exist, the bidding quickly escalates, with final prices landing anywhere from $27,000 to $95,000 depending on the severity of the error, the rarity of that specific type, and the condition of the coin. These auctions highlight just how much passion exists within the numismatic community for modern mint errors, and they demonstrate the lengths to which collectors will go to secure a piece of history. Condition, as always in coin collecting, plays a major role in determining value. A 2014 dime with an error that has been heavily circulated may still fetch a significant sum, but the highest prices are reserved for those in mint state condition. Coins that remain sharp, bright, and free of major blemishes are the ones that command the most attention. Professional grading services like NGC and PCGS are often used to authenticate and grade these coins, giving collectors confidence in their purchases. A certified 2014 dime error in a high grade with a dramatic error is the perfect storm that leads to those jaw-dropping auction prices. It's important, however, for collectors to be cautious. Not every coin that looks unusual is a mint error. Many damaged coins can appear odd, with bent rims or distorted designs caused by circulation wear, environmental damage, or intentional alteration. These are not mint errors and hold no additional value. This is why certification and expert evaluation are critical. When a 2014 dime is authenticated as a true mint error, its value skyrockets, because collectors know they are dealing with genuine rarity. What makes these error coins truly remarkable is their symbolism. They serve as proof that even in an age of advanced technology, mistakes can still happen. Despite the precision of modern minting equipment, no process is immune to flaws. And in the world of coin collecting, these flaws are not failures, they are treasures. They capture a specific moment when the minting process went wrong, leaving behind a coin that is both a mistake and a masterpiece. Beyond their financial value, the 2014 dime error coins embody the thrill of the hunt. They remind us that treasures are still out there, hiding in plain sight. Every time someone receives change, there is a chance, however small, that one of those rare dimes could be sitting in their hand. That possibility fuels the passion of collectors, and it's why stories of these discoveries capture so much attention. The 2014 Roosevelt dime error coins are a perfect example of how something so ordinary can become extraordinary. They are reminders that hidden value exists in the most unexpected places. While most dimes from that year will remain worth only 10 cents, a select few will continue to astonish the collecting world, with values ranging between $27,000 and $95,000. For collectors, owning one of these coins is not just about the money. It's about holding a piece of history, a rare mistake that transformed into a priceless treasure.